Hello and welcome back to the Art Teacher Maven YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making tempera paint with Miss Smith. I've been a teacher for 9 years and I am so happy that you are here to make some tempera paint with us. I'm going to explain what ingredients you need first so that way you can collect them or stop and write a shopping list. Most of these things you can get at the grocery store. So I'm going to be using half a cup of flour. I'm going to be using rice flour. So if you are gluten intolerant, this is a great recipe for you for this tempera-like paint. A half a cup of corn starch. I also got that at the grocery store. 1 tablespoon of salt, 2.5 cups of water, and then we're going to look at some different options for pigment, such as you could use turmeric spice or you could use some cayenne pepper, some tea as coloring. So there's going to be some different options. You could also use food coloring if that is something you're interested in. Once you've collected your supplies, you're going to need a container or several containers to make your different colors in, something with a lid, and some water on the side and a pitcher with some measuring cups. So once you've collected all those supplies, then you can start back the video from this point and we'll be making the paint together. See you back in a minute. So we're back and you've collected all your supplies. You have your half a cup of flour. You have your cornstarch, it's going to be half a cup. 1 tablespoon of salt. You have 2.5 cups of water set to the side. And we're going to talk about some options for pigment. First, we're going to start off by making some white tempera-esque paint in this bowl. And then we're going to put it into some other bowls just to show you some color options. So let's start off with our 1.5 cups of flour, and this is Bob's Red Mill brown rice flour. It's quite compact in there. And our tablespoon of salt. And our cornstarch. Most of these things were collected at the grocery store, so pretty easy to pick up on your next trip to the grocery. So I'm going to measure, because my flour is in my half a cup, I'm going to measure 2 1/4 of the cornstarch with my mini spatulas. I'm going to add the second half a cup. Second 1/4 a cup in a moment. I'll put this to the side. And now we're going to be adding slowly 2.5 cups of water to this mixture. We'll start with our 1 cup. And mix this together. We don't want to add too much water right away because then it will get liquidy, unless you want it on the liquidy side instead of on the thicker, fuller side. Totally up to you how you would like to have the consistency of your paint. Now I'm going to add the rest of the brown rice flour. And it's starting to thicken up. We're going to add our other 1/4 of the cornstarch. So it's only 1 cup of water right now. There we go. and continue to mix. If you would like to thicken it, you can just add a little bit more of the rice flour. And that's a little bit on the thin side, kind of thin. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more rice flour. So I'm glad that I didn't add all the water right away because it would have been too runny. So that's a really good base. We just want to thicken it just a little bit more. So we're gonna go back into our, and I still have water from the 1 cup mark in here. So I probably added 75% of that. Let's add a little bit more rice flour. Let's add 1/4 and see if we can just thicken that up just a smidge. We're always experimenting. It's okay to not get it right. We can always adjust by adding a little bit more water or a little bit more flour. There we go. A little bit thicker paint. Now we want to talk about coloring our paint. Because now it's just white. So we're going to take a bowl and we're going to put a little bit of the base into this bowl. You want to beat out any lumps in your flour. And let's talk about some color choices. Let's add a little bit of turmeric. And see what color we could get. We could also add some curry powder. What do you have in your spice cabinet? Shout out to Atlantic Spice. And this smells so beautiful. I didn't really measure. Just go with what you feel, how yellow you would like your paint to be. I'm going to add a little bit more of the base color. So we're sort of being like scientists right now. Just trying it out. What will work or what won't work. And the spices are definitely helping with a thicker consistency. Beautiful. If you want it thinner, more like a watercolor, you can just add more water to it. So there's some yellow paint. It's reacting very similar to the tempera paint we have at school. If you want to thin this out, just add a little bit more water. To get it to a thinner consistency. There you go. All right, I'm going to put this color to the side. And let's try making another color. So again, we'll take some of our white. And you can store your paint in little Tupperware containers, probably in the fridge if you're not going to use them right away. Let's try some cayenne pepper. You want an adult to help you with this because you do not want to get cayenne pepper on your hands and then in your eyes if you're going to choose to use something like this. So a little bit of cayenne pepper. Or some paprika or both. They're slightly different colors. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to mix them together and see what we get. Kind of an orange color because there was a little bit of yellow still on my spatula. Sort of orangey. You could also try things like pomegranate juice to add some color. And it'll also add some liquid, so it might thin it out. You could try something like pomegranate juice to add color to your paint. Or like crushed blueberry juice. There's a reddish orangish colored tempera paint that you could paint with. And then we also have some tea here. This is some passion fruit tea. This would also work to add some color. Now, if you're interested in using food coloring, it gets much easier if that interests you. You just take some of your plain white base and some food coloring. And just add a few drops to get to the desired darkness or lightness. We'll use this spoon. It's up to you and your comfort what you would like to use to color your paint. So there's a little bit of red. We could use this bowl too, since it's already here, my Hustle Cat bowl. And let's make some blue paint. A couple drops of the blue. And we're gonna mix with our white spoon. That's a nice consistency. Liquidy. All right, and we're ready to try out our new paint colors. So make sure you have water and some sort of brush. You could use a Q-tip. You could use a makeup brush. You don't have to have a special brush. Just use what you have. So this was our red paint with red food coloring. Let's give it a try. Kind of thick, kind of textured. But always great for just experimenting and playing. Learning good brush technique. We're gonna wash our brush. Swish, swish at the bottom. Drag, drag on the side. Let's try the blue. The blue's nice. It's a little bit thin if you're to drag it out. But if you keep it together, it's not so bad. And it's just for fun. Be careful with the paint so it doesn't get on your clothes or your table. Wash your brush, swish, swish, drag, drag on the side. Let's try the turmeric and curry mix. Smells beautiful. Spread it out. Seems to be the thickest. Seems to have the best spreadability there. And it's got a lot of texture to it. You can see the spices in there. Very nice, and it smells great. You can see the consistencies on the thicker side. Wipe off my brush. Clean my brush. And this one is the paprika and cayenne pepper. And that one's on the thinner side. Kind of like an orange, brownish color. But also great for just experimenting and playing. And with ingredients you can get at the grocery store, so easy access. Just add it to your shopping list, pick it up, and just give it a try. What are you going to paint? That's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what you should paint. Just play around with your experimentation and paint whatever you would like to make a picture of. So I hope you enjoyed that quick tutorial of making a tempera-esque paint at home with things you have either already in your cabinets or things you can quickly get at the grocery store, just to experiment with proper brush control. If you're looking for something that is fun and engaging, you don't have to keep what you make either. Just play and practice, and you could display it on the fridge for a few weeks, or you could recycle it. It's just getting that experience with the tempera paint like consistency, and just having fun and exploring with easy materials. So I hope that you enjoyed this activity of making your own tempera paint, and I'll see you back next time. Thanks. Bye.